Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Idle Angels video, and today we are going to be talking specifically about the PvP. So I wanted to make this video a while ago, but I was always not sure how to do it and what I want to say. So now I think I've figured out, and first I will try to explain how PvP works, and then I will give you kind of the suggestion of the ultimate lineup that it's not 100% going to secure you all wins, but definitely one of the strongest possibilities right now that we have in the game as in terms of PvP lineups. But also keep in mind that PvP lineups, this means that there are different PvP events where you will be required to have one team of 12 angels or 3 teams of 6 different angels, and in that matter things change drastically of what you need, because on the team of 12 angels you have the sub slots, which are 7 to 12, and on that slots we can put a lot of angels with passives, but I will get into that very shortly. So before we start, what I would like to clarify is how exactly PvP works and what takes priority. I know that I have explained it once in a video uh, in a while back then, when I was explaining incarnation levels, MR levels, and all of that. But now I will be doing it specifically for PvP. So on a PvP, how it works is on those positions that you see over here between 1 to 12, the angels from position 1 to 6 are the active ones, and positions 7 to 12 are the passive ones, or the ones that are kind of subs. They are waiting for an angel between 1 and 6 to die in order to go in the same order from 7 to 12 on the position of the dead angel. And in PvP, the most important stat is speed, because how it works is the angel on position 1 with the highest speed, so either yours or the opponent's angel on position 1, will cast their skill first. That's why you want on position 1 a very speedy angel that will be casting first, primarily with some kind of crowd control, so that you can crowd control your enemy in order to stop them from acting, and that way you are getting the control of the battlefield. And the way it works, as I explained, on slot 1 the speediest angel acts first, and then it's the enemy angel on the slot 1. So it goes like this. Let's say you are with the speed build and your enemy is not with the speed build. Your angel on position 1 acts, then it's the enemy position 1 angel, then it's position 2 that it will take place. So if you are with the speed gear or more speed with your enemy, the position 2 angel will act, and then it's the enemy position 2, and it goes like that all the way to 6. So that's why speed is very important, and that is why it's also very important which angels are put in position 1 through 5, and most of the time on position 6 is standing your DPS in order to get all of the buffs. But keep in mind that if an enemy DPS like Nemesis is very fast and you have a lot of supports that can protect you, you can still lose in an instant in round 1 if the enemy puts Nemesis position 1 and you cannot stop her. Why is that? That is because the Nemesis position 1 will cast, it will kill all of your angels before they're able to cast their skills in order to protect your lineup. So this is this is something that you will definitely need to consider. And that is why I say that between position 1, 2, and 3, it's kind of the crowd control units that you want to put. So 1, 2, and 3, you can focus on crowd controlling units. 4 and 5, you can consider something that will either provide you crowd control resistances, or it can provide you survivability. And position 6 is usually the DPS. This is for kind of the mid to late game. In early game, most of the times you just want your DPS to be position 1, and by early game I mean when there are no crowd control supports, there are no supports built and you're fighting only DPS versus DPS, that's when you want your DPS on position 1, because the reason is you want to cast first and kill your opponents first. So this is kind of the general overview. And now I will try to go from early game to mid game to late game, explaining some different possible options of the lineups. And actually before that, I am going to tell you how those rarity works. So which takes priority first. Now, let's say that you are having a Pandora on position 1. Pandora with position 1, the first thing that will take effect on the battlefield is a passive. If there's something with a passive on it, so if we go to, I think Jean had it written somewhere over here. Yeah, you can see the passive stats over here. So basically, if we have a Jean on the lineup, main lineup, on position 6, her passive takes effect instantly. Before anything happens, before any angel takes action, the passive takes effect first. After that, it will be the position 1 angel with the highest speed that will cast their incarnation power. This is kind of pre-battle stuff that happen. So it's pre-round 1 that can happen. And there are some other passives that are UR plus passives that could happen with a different kind of activation, like Horus UR plus. As you know, when an angel dies, she comes on that slot and she activates her UR plus passives in order to save another angel. But for now, let's focus on the ER part. So the ER will be cast first. After that, it will be the MR. After that, it will be the skill 1 and 2, or the UR and UR plus skills if you have those upgraded of the angels. And in that matter, if you have a position 1 angel that is with high speed, but it doesn't have incarnation power unlocked, or none of your team has incarnation powers unlocked, and your enemy has incarnation powers, even if you are the speediest, you have the build the speediest angels, you won't be able to act most likely, because enemy with ER skills will cast first and destroy your team, because ER takes effect before the round 1 actually happens. So this is something that you really need to consider. But if you have the incarnation powers and your enemy has the incarnation powers, then the speed takes effect on the battlefield. I hope that this is very kind of clear, and it helps you out to clear those questions that people have been having, how to play PvP. But now let's talk about some early game strategies that you can take. And by early game, try to not look at how built my angels are. Just try to think of what I'm saying regarding the supports and the DPS. So as I mentioned, early game, the strongest possible option that you can have right now is Nemesis on position 1, because her own relic provides her speed, which means that she will be very speedy on position 1, and she will cast almost always first her skills, and by that she will be completely destroying the enemy lineup without them having the opportunity to act or cast anything. This is early game without any or small amount, low amount of supports being built. How to counter something like that? There are two options that you can counter a Nemesis that is position 1 and it's very, very speedy. First option is to build ER Uriel and put her on the main lineup. The idea is that she has a passive that will reduce the enemy highest attack angel with 99% attack debuff. So this will make Nemesis useless for 1 round, in which your DPS could take the opportunity to attack. This is something very, very cheap. It costs 200 blues, even less. so it's not hard to do, and all you needed is to put Uriel in whatever position, and then for you to have the Nemesis or your DPS on position 1, so that way you can counter the enemy and kill it before you die. In a matter of if the enemy has Uriel as well and you have Nemesis or another attack angel, if your DPS is Lilith, you are still safe because Lilith is not attack-based angel, she's HP-based angel, so all you need to do is try to fill in a support that has more attack than Lilith, and that way you will win the battle. But in case if you are not building Lilith and you want Nemesis, or you want your DPS to be beating a speedy Nemesis, there are two options. In the early game, it will be very hard to have a Pandora that will be faster than a maxed out Nemesis, but it's not entirely impossible. But another thing you can try is to fully go on speed on your DPS, and that means to build a speed relic that has, as you can see, the stat over here with speed, with some substats of speed, to do a void gem in order to receive more speed. Even though it will reduce your damage, there is still a chance that you can be doing quite well with going full speed, but still it will be very hard to beat a Nemesis in that situation, and this is for the early game. That's why I say that Nemesis is one of the easiest and best DPS angels for PvP to build early on, because she has self-protection, she has the speed, and she overall controls the battlefield. This is in regards of winning early game matches, and I know that it sounds a bit dumb that there's nothing you can do, but sadly that's the thing. There's no other way that you can beat a Nemesis other than building ER Uriel and hoping that your enemy doesn't have that ER Uriel. Now on the mid game, this is when supports will start taking place, and it really depends on what supports the enemy has. Usually for PvP, what you would want to do is that you have a maxed out DPS, and if your DPS is single target, so for instance my Lucifer does a single target damage, she does not do AoE, you will want an Enmo with Incarnation level 4, which will give the potential of Lucifer single target to spark into AoE. This is what you will definitely want if you are going for PvP. But this is kind of the second most important part. The first most important part will be a fully built Pandora. And why I say fully built Pandora? Because if you don't have a fully built Pandora, she won't have that much speed, and it's very easy for the enemy to play it around to beat you out in a way that you can not cast first as your Pandora and have a enemy with a very speedy Nemesis to completely destroy it. Also, we are going to be pulling up the Uriel with the UR+. And what we want is Incarnation level 3 Aiden. The main reason of Incarnation level 3 Aiden is because she gives 6% speed to the angels on the position 1, 2, and 3, which will allow you to be very speedy. And in the case of a team build up like this one, I even pull my DPS to position 3, and the main reason behind that is because Pandora position 1 casts and she stuns the enemies. Enmo position 2 will cast, allow Lucifer to do AoE, and then on position 3 I don't need the damage buffs from other supports. My Lucifer is strong enough now with Enmu to completely annihilate the enemy team, or whatever other DPS you put on position 3 with, of course, enough upgrades, being close to the max out, will most likely kill the enemy. And on position 6, I put Jean with Incarnation level 1 in order to have her passive be procced to help your team survive a bit more. Position 7, it will be Horus. And then position 8 to 12, in my opinion, it now comes to the part of you going from mid to the late game. So this is kind of like mid and mid to late game. Another very good option in order to block and counter Pandora is Merlin with Incarnation level 4 and MR1, because she can protect from some crowd control. And is, as a matter of fact, if the enemy is having a Pandora that you cannot beat, Jean won't help you in that situation. That's when you will want to have the Incarnation level 4 with MR1 Merlin built up and put over here on the back. And in that case, I would swap and put Lucifer on the back over here. And I will even put Lilith, Aidan in position 3. Main reasoning behind that is Merlin MR works on the angels on the same line. So that would mean on the back row, I would want my Lucifer to be over there. But since Uriel and Merlin don't do that much, actually I would even swap them like that, because Uriel you use only for the passive. And something like this will be your mid to going to the late game setup. Now, when it comes to late game setup, what you would want to do and kind of the ultimate lineup, how it will look like, is on position 1, you have a fully built Pandora with a lot of speed. On position 2, if your DPS is single target, you want Enmu. But if your DPS is not single target, then you could do a Medusa on position 2. For now, I will do it with a single target DPS because this is mine. So these are even my thoughts on how I want to progress. On position 3, I will be putting Lucifer. And then position 4, it's going to be Aidan, mainly because I want that speed to be proccing for my main lineup. After that, I will need the protection from Merlin, which is indefinite. Probably the most OP thing that we can have. And lastly, I will be putting none other than Hela. It's a bit weird why I put them like this way, because Hela Incarnation level 2 power, when it gets activated, it will lock out one slot of the enemy. But here it depends on what kind of enemy am I trying to beat. So if it's an enemy that is very, very strong on round 2 and has the high potential of firing back at me, I will definitely want the lineup to look something like this. But just in case that his round 2 won't be that strong, or his angels position 1, 2, and 3 are not that strong, I would move Lucifer to the back and put Hela on position 2 even, because this way I will get the protection, I will get the attack buffs for all of my angels, and I will be able to lock out one of the enemy slots. But as a kind of general overview, it will be like this. Then position 7, we want a Horus with UR plus and Incarnation level 5, not 4, Incarnation level 5, because this allows her to cast the Vengeance, which is the saving passive from subs. So you will get Death Evasion to all 6 angels on your main lineup. Then what you want to do is you move your MC character to position 10, and on position 12 we want Jean with Incarnation level 5, because again this allows Jean from subs to cast her passive, which will again save the angels on positions 1 to 6. On position 11 we want Incarnation level 5 Uriel, because this will allow her passive to be cast from the subs, and if you remember, she is going to negate the enemy DPS for the first round, which is very, very huge, because just in case you are losing the battle between position 1 and 6 for some reason, then Uriel will provide you that safety to go into round 2. This is kind of the main lineup that you will definitely want. On position 8 and 9, you can try to fit another two supports that have passives, something like Capricorn, because Capricorn Incarnation level 5 will provide you double the HP on the angels between 1 to 6. But of course, you will need to build her to MR5 as well. So this is very, very expensive possibility that you can put. But if you have something like Rav and Poseidon, these two are very good options to be put over here as well. If you have a maxed out Hera can delay a lot the income of the damage, so I would even prefer a maxed out Hera. But again, this depends on how well you have built up your angels. So in my opinion, it's better to do a hero with not even maxed out hero, but incarnation level 5 hero is what you will definitely need. And another two options viable for position 8 and 9 are, if you are considering, let me find her, Azura with the incarnation level of 5, which will give her the realm barrier to reduce the enemy's creators will damage by 20% while increasing the creators will damage by your allies by 20%. So Azura Incarnation level 5 is another thing that you definitely want to fit on your lineup. And this is speaking primarily for PvP. Your goal is between 7 and 12 position to fill it with angels that activate stuff from subs. That's kind of the most important part in the game regarding PvP. This is for a 12 slot PvP battles, and for 6 slot PvP battles, like, let me go to Apex. So for Apex, it's really hard to give you an option of how to win every single time, because it really depends on what you are facing, and it really depends on how you move those 3 teams, and you need 18 build-up angels, and over here you don't care if your Jean is ER5 in regards of her passive being able to be activated from subs, because this thing does not exist over here. So in short, the best way to ensure wins between those battles is that you will need 3 DPS angels most likely, and then you will need 3 crowd control angels on top of that in order to face your enemies. But more or less, this one is like playing chess, how you move your lineups and your units. But what I entirely can suggest is to split your utilities between the 3 teams if you have 3 DPSs. So if you have 3 DPS angels that are semi-built, what you can try to do is have them the 3 DPSs on position 2, and then on position 1 to have a crowd control unit or damage mitigation unit, in order for your team not to get one shot and have the opportunity to strike back. As you can see, for team 1, I'm still trying to build it up. I don't have a third DPS, but I do Uriel to negate the enemy's attacks, Hera to again postpone the enemy damage, and then I would like to get a DPS. Let's say we use Icarus to put her in position 2, but a DPS with AoE, in order for me to try to negate enemies' attacks and my DPS to one-shot the enemy. And then I hope that the enemy doesn't have that much survivability in order for me to be able to one-shot them. Position 2, my thinking is that I'm going to have a Pandora that is very, very fast, and I will have Aidon placed with that Pandora to ensure my Pandora doing enough damage and crowd controlling the enemy. With, of course, Hela. Here, incarnation power of Hela is a bit useless, because even though she can lock up a slot whenever an enemy angel dies, it's not that great, because no other angel will take that slot anyway. But Hela does some nice damage in PvP as well, and I use Capricorn MR to buff the the HP of my Hela, and MC is over here just to do some extra damage. And on the third team, what I have is I'm trying to have Enmu proc the passive to be able to kill the enemy, and then I have Lucifer on position 2 in order to try and one-shot the enemy before they one-shot me. Of course, I have the Horus with Jean in hopes that I can survive for a bit longer, Fuxi to deal a bit more damage just in case if I go to round 2, and Raf to try and mitigate some of the damage with a barrier. So overall, this is kind of the PvP guide or suggestion or everything that I have learned that I wanted to provide and give you idea on. I hope that this will help you out. It's quite a lot of information, but the good thing is that it's a video, so you can run it back, watch it again, and try to see until what point you want to build the angels. Keep in mind that this could and most likely will change with the upcoming angels that we are yet to see, but overall position 7 to 12 with the subs of the angels, it's kind of the best option that you can get, because there are no more than 6 angels that have passives that can be activated from subs. So for now, this is definitely something that it won't change. And on the main lineups, we just need to receive new angels that can protect you from crowd control or create crowd control. So more or less PvP is in regards of crowd controls and passives, so you can act first and stack up passives, sorry, not passives, but buffs first in order to survive or defeat your opponents. I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, keep in mind that there are 2 codes over there. I have posted 2 codes that will give you angel coins and blue scrolls, so it's very important to claim them before those codes expire. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.